First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to the elders great millstone, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is the coming prophecies. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick AI overview. And it reads, it said President Donald Trump has taken steps to accelerate the development and deployment of 6G technology with the aim of ensuring the United States leadership in next generation wireless networks. Said this incentive involves the relocation, Salakia, of radio frequency spectrum for commercial use with a focus of developing 6G to support advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, robotics, and implantable technology. So we already knowing, we're pretty much seeing every day what's happening over there with in Iran. We're seeing a lot of different reports are coming out. And also we're seeing, it's constantly tension is constantly rising right here in our own backyard. We're hearing rumors of wars left and right, all sorts of threats left and right, all sorts of things that they're telling us to prepare for. And one thing about it, we already know it, in the background there, what they're getting ready to roll out, which in fact is their main objective, which in fact is the ultimate goal, is that grain of rice. That's exactly what we've been constantly warning you about. So we already did a report on this about, I think it was back in December, I believe it was, when this first article came out back in December. I think it was somewhere along that. It was, at the end of 2025. But anyway, we know right now, DJ Donald Trump, now he's trying to accelerate the deployment of this new 6G blockchain technology. We put it like that. Also, we know this is going to be working with your new money, which in fact is these this called this digital currency, the CBDCs. It also is going to work hand in hand with the RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast. So we know at some point they can cause something could happen like a black swan event, or could be a cyber attack, a EMP attack, many other things. Could be some type of what you call these explosive devices they can use across America, cause all sorts of chaos. And also we knowing that we seeing that America is slowly becoming a police state. So exactly, they already got everything in place. The system is in place. We know that we coming upon this time. It's at Revelation chapter 13. So right now we already know this is going to be surveillance under the skin. That grain of rice, it's right here. All we're waiting on for the implementation, of the RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast, then we knowing that all hell is going to break loose. And one thing about it, we already knowing that World War III has begun. We're seeing now that we're at the end. And one thing about it, we're very excited. So let's open this up, and it's a lot of things. It's going this right here is going to show you, that these things right here, the technology is already here, and it's going to tell you the use, and which in fact, it's going to do away with what you call so-called Wi-Fi. You're going to be the Wi-Fi. You're going to be a walking device, the internet of bodies. And one thing about it, who told you this first? Starting with the apostles, the elders and the bishops and the prophets of what? A great millstone. You have been well warned. Now it is here. So one thing about a lot of people right now, they're eating good, they're working, having everything is feel like everything is fine, but these evils are growing all around us, left and right. So we seeing right before our eye, but now all of a sudden, in the background, we know that this is getting ready to come full circle. They're getting ready to introduce, this is getting ready to be a reality. All the people been talking about scoffing and mocking, all the markers. It's a spiritual mark, or it's white women's, or all sorts of wickedness and foolishness. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? It is here now. So we getting ready to find out who is belong to the Lord and who belong to this world. And one thing about it, we seeing that this world is constantly what fading away. We seeing that we're at the end of this nightmare. So now let's go straight to the point. I kind of touched up on. So this article here by the White House, just what you call a fact sheet, and we just gonna go straight to the point. I read a little bit of it in the AI overview, but it's always good to go over things again. The Lord always be what repetitious, So it says here, winning the 6G race. It said President Trump is taking decisive action to win the global race for 6G. So we already knowing right now, this man is right now, he's moving in warp speed because knowing that his time is very short. So we seeing right now that he's getting ready to hurry up to bring this forth. We already knowing about the BRIC nation. We already knowing that the dollar is pretty much is obsolete. It's pretty much worthless. And also we seeing that we have a failing infrastructure, and also we coming upon a great economic collapse. Could this war bring forth these this new system, which in fact I feel through the spirit that it is. So we seeing right now that the Straits of Hormuz is closed for right now. So it's going to cause a ripple effect throughout the world. Right here, it's already rumors that they're saying that diesel prices is running high right now. Gasoline still right now still stable, but we're gonna see in the coming days, it could cause hyperinflation. Also we've been having a lot of different things going on with the bank. That their systems been up and down. So we already know that they at some point they're gonna shut these banks down, and then you will not have any money. We already know that's gonna cause what chaos. Sedition. Looting, rioting. So they already have things in the place. They already have ICE patrol. They already have the military in place. So we already know where all this is going. Also, they have these concentration camps. You know what I'm saying? When you go to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. We coming upon this time, the hour of temptation, the hour of testing is right before our eyes. These things are happening. Bible prophecy are rolling out, and also once again we're right at the end. Our salvation is at the door. So let's get this little bit right here. It says winning the 6G race. It said President Trump is taking divisive action to win the global race for 6G. It says 6G networks will provide the foundation to operate cutting edge technologies of the next decade, including AI, robotics, implantable technology. He said, and many other advancements. So it will also deliver dramatically faster connections, speeds, ultra low latency, and higher data capacity. So we're gonna stop it right there. We're gonna expound on those. So we seeing right now it says here implantable technology. So we already knowing about the Neuralink, the biological interface system that they're putting into place. So we already know that this is already here. And one thing about it, we know this is going to work hand in hand with this new money, which in fact is this crypto or this CBDC, this digital money. And one thing about it is that they're when you look at it, they're going to merge everything together, including you. Merge man with what? This new cutting edge technology. We put it like that. And also it's going to be dealing with your biometrics, face recognition, eye retina scan, just wave your hand, palm, you know what I'm saying? Palm scanning, carbon footprinting. We already knowing the blueprint and with China, also with Sweden. They already have it there. There are a lot of people already walking around with this new cutting edge implantable technology in under their skin. We put it like that. Surveillance under the skin. So we're seeing right now that this thing's here. So we're seeing now that all this technology is here, is at the door, and guess what? You have been well warned. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that the C hip is here. We're seeing that they could cause a another pandemic. We know that they're coming back with the hokey pokey. So we're seeing right now we're going into the what's called the fifth industrial revolution. Whereby it's going to be dealing with AI, robotics. So we already know that AI pretty much is taking over all of these jobs, and it also is going to take over you. If you submit or if you consent. So that's where we at right now. So we seeing that the war drums are constantly beating, and a lot of people are looking over there what's happening in the Middle East, and also they looking at these Epstein, the E-files, we'll put it like that. And also, a lot of people are saying, hey man, we seeing that Iran, what they're doing over there, that a lot of people are talking about they're stuck in Dubai. So many things is happening, and also talking about what sleeper cells right here in our own backyard, So a lot of people right now are very tensed up. A lot of people are very afraid, have a lot of uncertainties, and guess what? The men of the Lord, we are the one that constantly been warning you about all these things, warning before destruction. We warn you about the war. We warn you about the sea hill. We warn you about these sleeper cells and many other things. Every day prophecies are speaking loud and clear. That's why I call today's lesson the coming prophecies. And one thing about it, they're unfolding, they are manifesting, and also they're being revealed right before your eyes. So we see it right now. This is the ultimate goal, to make you a walking device, make you a petrol slave, and give you that badge of servitude, which in fact is the charagma. When you go to Revelation chapter 13, we are here. So pretty much it's not going to be any more talking. The Lord's getting ready to show up also. We're seeing that he's gathering the nation. We're seeing right now the Lord, is constantly moving the chess pieces around. He's accelerating time. We're here. We just had a blood moon. The men of the Lord, we constantly been warning you. So now let's go here and get a quick precept, because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Before we start today's video, let's go here to the blue letter here, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. This is pretty hot precept right here. It says here, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his device. And out about, we already know the physical counterpart of Satan is the modern day so-called white man, Esau, Edom, that red devil. And also it says he's trying to say, lest he should get an advantage. So what the advantage he's trying to get, he wants to be have total control. He wants to stay in power. It's inward thought that he will rule forever, but he's in for a rude awakening. And also, to use his pseudo side, his lying wonders. But his counterfeit miracles. And one thing about it, the men of the Lord, we constantly been warning you about these things, telling you left and right. Also, the Lord constantly making Esau bearer and bearer, exposing all his evil plan. And he said, we are not ignorant of his device. Who is not ignorant of his device? Started with the prophets and also the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. And when you go to that word device, it goes into his mindset, his plan, his agenda, which in fact we already know that 3-letter word, which in fact is total control. So we're here, it is at the door. So we already know that this war, the war drums are beating, but we knowing before all hell break loose, before World War III become full circle, before the great climax, we know that the implementation of the RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast, you will not be able to buy or sell. You will not be able to do a damn thing if you do not take this surveillance under the skin. But one thing about it, we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. We ain't giving a damn about no chip. We're not giving a damn about his we're not giving a damn about none of that. All we're going to do is constantly believe. We're going to constantly have the faith. We know the Lord is getting ready to return. The Lord is getting ready to cut him off. And we cannot wait. So now, let's start today's videos. And after the videos, we will start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
Listen up. This is very important, and you need to watch this till the end. So Trump just signed a directive to accelerate 6G deployment, which will help operate implantable technologies which includes AI brain chips, known as Biological Interface System to Cortex. It was announced in December of 2025. It is a paper-thin, flexible silicone chip, and it looks like that. There's already research on security issues with this kind of tech. The 5 paramount security and privacy issues are authentication, access control, malicious behavior, encryption, and communication. Not only that, but there's studies of the risk to health and well-being from radio frequency radiation emitted by cell phones and other wireless devices. Because even when you get a new...
So we already know this right here is lining up with Revelation, I think 16 and verse 2. You know, that Newsom saw. So cause of this radiation constantly emitting off this device. So you pretty much if you take this, you're going to develop a sore. And one thing about it is that what I'm saying, that's it's going to be some of the what you call the side effects, and there's going to be many others. But this right here is going to be the main thing. You're going to have a sore that will not heal, and one thing about it, the Lord is going to totally destroy you. You're getting ready. You're going to feel that fire, which in fact is the second death. So now start it back up.
Phone, it has a paper in there that you're supposed to read, and it tells you that you're not supposed to hold your phone to your face because it is dangerous, and it's already dangerous with 5G. So just imagine when it's 6G. December the 22nd, the White House orders federal agencies to free lower 7 gigahertz band for commercial 6G. Do y'all remember when the sickness was going around, and at the same time these towers were going up? And then a lot of people were getting sick. And if you look up the symptoms for radiation poisoning, it looked a lot like the symptoms that were appearing.
We already know what happened back in 2020. And one thing about it, we're not ignorant of Satan device. We know that a lot of things happened back in 2020 whereby they was putting up these 5G towers everywhere, and they were saying that, it was for this, it was for that. But one thing about it, we already know that they were putting the system in place back then. It was what you call like a test run. And also a lot of people had gotten that, what you call that digital download. They are walking receivers to receive data, information. So we'll put it like that. So that started back up. So we seeing right now, this man already had this in place several years ago. So now it is here. The man is getting ready to roll out his enterprise.
I mentioned that they're wanting to do this without any studies being done of the safety risk. On top of that, Trump is now slamming banks over crypto bill holdup, urges Congress to pass act ASAP. Because one day, and it looks like very soon in the future, everyone is going to get a mark. And that mark is going to be connected to your money, and it will be used to control.
So that's exactly what we've been telling you about that. This new money, which in fact is this CBDC, and also we know it's going to be digital, programmable, also surveillance under the skin, implantable technology, cutting edge technology. Also, if once you consent or submit to this, you pretty much are going to be a petrol slave. Pretty much going to have you under their control. They'll be able to control everything about you. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, that, that's what we constantly warning you about, left and right. So he trying to push this issue, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and get it out because he knowing that he has but a short time. That's why this devil is coming down with great wrath. We know we coming upon these times. Jacob's trouble, the beginning stages. We're here. So right now, you know what I'm saying, all road leads to that RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast. So let's get the last of this, then we're going to go to another video.
Whether you can buy or sell. Now, if we look at this patent right here, it's 060606. It's the cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Human body activity associated with the task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user, which is communicating.
So really, this right here is going into the beast system. You know what I'm saying? The man had power to give life to the image of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So we seeing right now, that it's coming reality now. The beast system. It's going to be dealing with 5G technology, connecting your money, the RFD microchip. And also it's going to make you the internet of bodies. Merging everything together. You know what I'm saying? This is what this red devil wants to do. So let's Let's finish this out.
Repeatedly coupled to the server. This sensor that people will have in them may sense body activity of the user. Then that body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. Then it will verify if your body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency or pay you if your body activity data is verified. As in, if you do what they tell you to, you will get paid your cryptocurrency. So they're about to install this system that can run these things. Scientists want to use people as antennas to power 6G. So we will be the ones powering 6G. We're going to be used as antennas. And just like this patent says, the chips that are going to be implanted in people will be connected to this system. You will be used as an antenna, and they will be able to sense your body activity and reward you your money if you do what.
Make you a walking device, merge you with this technology. Exactly what she is saying. This is this system that they're putting into place. You will not be able to buy or sell. And one thing about it is that, a lot of things, what I'm saying, a man shall desire to go in another city. If you don't have the right things, be a part of this new system that they're putting into place, then you'll be cut off for society. And also, a lot of will be put to death. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it would be martyrs. Some of us, these guillotines. That's why they have these things in place, because a lot of us, which in fact is the elect, we're not going to take it. So we already knowing that we're coming upon that time, the hour of testing, the hour of temptation. But once again, we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua.
They tell you to do. And that is why he is urging Congress to pass this act. Because in order to control you, you have to get rid of actual money. And everybody has to have a stable coin wallet, which is exactly what this man is doing. We have been warning everyone about this for years. The beast system is being built right in front of you. If you do not have a relationship with Jesus.
So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6. What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is?
Where's the chip at?
So this is an RFID chip that I got implanted in my hand like 5 years ago.
Y'all paying attention yet? Y'all just gonna ignore it, act like it's normal? Tick tock, tick tock.
So we're seeing right now that we're very close to these things right here. Is getting ready to become a reality. The technology's here, everything is in place. So we seeing right now, we just waiting for these last prophecy to unfold. And also we know the second coming of our Lord and Savior is very close. So now, let's start here let's go here to Psalm chapter 64. Let's go here first. That's a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Psalm chapter 64, and I started with verse 1. It says here, it said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Verse 3 said, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Said verse 4 said that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So right now, we already know that this is the secret counsel of the wicked, starting with these international bankers, these global leaks, already knowing that DJ Donald Trump and the rest of these puppets, which in fact DJ Donald Trump, many others, they doing the bidding of these global leaks, and one thing about it, we already knowing that what's going on in Iran, the least of the flock should draw them out, and also we already knowing that this is their ultimate goal, to have what? Total control, but they're in for a rude awakening. Let's go here, and one thing about it, doing a diligent search, we can get that in a minute too. It says here, verse 5, it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately or privately. They say, who shall see them? And who shall see you? The men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Also the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Shah, and everybody encourage themselves in the evil matter. What's that evil matter? Which in fact is this new system that they are putting into place. They're constantly imagining a vain thing. And one thing about it, we're here, man. We constantly warn you. Verse 6, they search out iniquity. They accomplish a diligent search, both their inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. So this damn man right here is very deep. You know what I'm saying? What it says that he was wiser than Daniel, but guess what? The Lord right now is making this man being exposed right now. He's uncovering all his secret places right now. You know what I'm saying? He cannot run, he cannot hide. Shame of spirit is upon his glory. So we seeing right now, that's where we at. This man is constantly did a very diligent search. You know what I'm saying? To bring this forth. And one thing about it that we already know that he's imagining a very vain thing. So we already know. Let's go here. Revelation chapter 13. Let's go straight to the point. We get one more and we'll close out. Let's go here. Revelation chapter 13, Salakia. Revelation chapter 13. And we go straight to the point. We goes over this left and right. Start up here with verse 16. He say, he causes all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. So right now it says small, great, rich, and poor. It's talking about it's going to be a worldwide. It's going to be globally. It's going to affect everyone on the planet. And one thing about this is going into this hour of testing. And one thing about it, the charagma, shall go into your right hand or your forehead. It's talking about this Neuralink. All this technology is here. The mass man and machine together. This is his evil plan, his evil scheme. And one thing about talking about this biological interface, system that they're putting into place, surveillance under the skin. So we're seeing right now, this is what it's coming down to. But guess what? It's coming down to Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai. And also we know that the end, double O, what is coming, is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. Verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And everybody's talking about this system, which in fact is the beast system that they're constantly putting into play. It's going to be dealing with your biometrics, blockchain technology, and also it's going to make you the internet of bodies, make you a walking Wi-Fi. A lot of people right now are receivers. We already know what happened back in 2020. A lot of people, tuck the bag, and now, they're waiting on more instruction. That they wait on the final piece, which in fact is that grain of rice. You've seen in the video, we've seen that, the RFD microchip in all of that rice, a grain of rice. It's small just like that. And one thing about the MOTB, that's what we constantly been warning you about. That's right. You will not be able to make no type of transaction, food, medication, water, do a damn thing, any type of work. So you'll be cut off from society. So a lot of people, when they go through any type of adversity, a lot of people are going to get weak and crumble like a cookie, which in fact out of the 2/3, you don't say, yes, I'll take it. I need to eat. I'm very hungry. Help me. And your ass is going to die. Verse 18 said, here's wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 600, 666, number of this system. You know what I'm saying? We already know the man that invented that barcode, the barcodes and the QR code. What's his name? Was Joseph Lore. Joseph Lore, I can't think of his last name, but anyway, you understand what I'm saying. So he invented that, so it's a system of a man, you know what I'm saying? And one thing about it is that we knowing that we are here, these things are right before our eyes. The man want to give you this badge of servitude, that digital oil, who do you belong to? You belong to this system? Do you belong to the modern day Pharaoh, which in fact is the so-called white man? You know what I'm saying? The devil that the Bible speaks of. But one thing about it is that, we belong to Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, the elect, the house of David. We're here. These things are at the door. The men of the Lord, we constantly been warning you about these things. Now they are here. All the scoffing and mocking is getting ready to be a thing of the past. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. We'll close out right here. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. And it reads that because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So one thing about it, this is talking about the patience. You suffer, you persevere, you know what I'm saying? You endure, you trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. You kept the faith, you know, all the way to the finish, like even in death. You know what I'm saying? You did not bend a fold. And the Lord said, I will keep thee from that hour of temptation. You know, it's coming upon this earth. It's going to be worldwide to try you, to test you. You know what I'm saying? To see that you are worthy what the Lord is getting ready to bring. Immortality, rulership, spiritual power is right around the corner. The Lord is coming. So let's read it in NLT and we'll close out. It said, because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So we seeing right now, these things are right here, right before our eyes. The men of the Lord constantly warning you. We seeing that the war drums are beating. We seeing that Jacob's trouble has begun. We seeing what's happening in our own backyard. All hell is getting ready to break loose. A time of trouble that we have never seen before. But guess what? We're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord is going to do the rest. The Lord is getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is The Coming Prophecy. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rikah Kwadash. I'd like to say, Shalom, Shalom.